Jesus, what have they done to you? My heart bursts. I want to run to him and push his tormentors away. Your eyes are blurred by the blood from the crown of thorns on your head. You can hardly see, but you do see me, Jesus. Time stands still if only for this moment.
Jesus staggers from the weight of the huge beam on his bleeding shoulder.
It is too much for him, but he is looking toward heaven as if to say, why? Lord, where are you? Look what they have done to Jesus. He is so distorted. The beatings and abuses inflicted on him have taken their toll. His face is swollen. His body is bleeding and bruised. I barely recognize my son. I recall the prophecy of Simeon in the synagogue. When I presented Jesus to the Lord, he said, behold, this child is destined for the fall and rise of many in Israel. And you, his mother, the sword will pierce your heart. I remember holding Jesus gently in my arms and caressing his precious head.
Jesus falls for a second time. His eyes turn away from Mary as the soldiers continue to push him on.
I'm looking at Jesus, perhaps for the last time. This separation is so painful as he moves further from me. But I must be there for him. I must.
Jesus can no longer carry the cross and falls for a third time. The soldiers enlist the aid of a stranger, Simon of Cyrene, to help Jesus.
You, carry his cross! Me? Why me? I'm a citizen from another town. I don't know this man. I'm not a criminal. I cannot do it. Carry his cross!
Simon at first resists, but then his resistance turns to compassion as he sees the blood of Jesus on the cross. Jesus looks towards heaven once again. He comes upon some women weeping. He tells them not to cry for him, but for themselves and their children. A woman, Veronica, gently wipes his bleeding face.
Please, forgive me, my Lord. Allow me to dry your face.
There's a look of serenity on his face. He seems so peaceful. As he moves closer to death, his peace gives me the strength that I need. I am waiting in a silent grave. I am frightened by the load I bear, but I offer all I can for the mercy of your plan. Help me be strong. Help me be. Help me. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, lighten my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, breath of heaven.
When Jesus arrives at Golgotha, The soldiers ripped his garments, tearing open his wounds once again. They laid him on the cold, hard wood. And then they nailed him to it. The pain is excruciating. As they raise the cross, the pain shoots through his arms and explodes like a fireball in his head. Off to the side, Mary, his mother, his beloved disciple, and Mary Magdalene crying as they watch Jesus being tortured. And so, they crucified Jesus that day and divided his garments among them by casting lots. And then the soldiers sat and kept watch. A soldier offers him wine mixed with gall, but he refuses it. Over his head they place a sign that reads his charge, Jesus the Nazarene, the King of the Jews. Now, being crucified with Jesus that day were two thieves, one on his right and the other on his left.
Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing.
If you really are the Messiah, then save yourselves and us too.
Be quiet, man. We are guilty of our crimes, but this man Jesus is innocent. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
Amen. I say to you, today, you will be with me in paradise.
Jesus looks off to the side and sees his mother Mary, his beloved disciple John, and Mary Magdalene. And Mary says to Jesus,
Flesh of my flesh, heart of my heart, Jesus, let me die with you.
and then Jesus says to his mother,
Woman, behold your son.
and then Jesus says to his beloved disciple,
Behold your mother.
and from that hour on, the disciple John took Mary into his home. It was now about noon, and darkness had settled over the whole land until about 3 in the afternoon, when about that time Jesus cried out in a loud voice,
Eli! Eli! Lama sabachthani! My God! Why have you forsaken me? Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. It's finished.
The earth quaked and all were filled with fear as the temple and the curtain was torn in two from top to bottom. A centurion standing nearby was heard to say,
Surely, this man was the Son of God.
In Jerusalem that day, the soldiers tried to clear the narrow streets, but the crowd raced to see the man condemned to die on Calvary. He was bleeding from a beating. There were stripes upon his back, and he wore a crown of thorns upon his head, and he bore with every step the scorn of those who cried out for his death. Called the way of suffering, like a lamb came the Messiah, Christ the King. en Jerusalén. Los soldados le habrían